So Suave, you sent me some shit I'm reading here for the first time.
Uh-huh.
And it says WWE made $40 million by booking Goldberg to defeat Fiend.
Cause I couldn't believe this shit when I read it. And I was like, nah, I can't be the only one that sees this shit. I gotta send this to somebody who has to feel me on this. Pause.
Okay, so for Impact.
Yeah.
I want to say this again.
Not the 20-year anniversary either.
Not to be confused with the company based out of Nashville.
Damn owl.
Yeah, fuck that owl. WWE made $40 million by booking Goldberg to defeat The Fiend.
How so?
Well, glad you asked, Swab. At WWE Super Showdown 2020.
Still tipping on faux foes, wrapped in faux vogues.
WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg defeated The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, to win the Universal Championship for the second time in his career, which subsequently ended The Fiend's second reign as WWE champion. I digress.
I checked this out. What? No, that was his first reign.
No, the second one. People don't remember the first one.
The Fiend had one reign. I know what you're talking
about. Oh, that's right. Because we almost got outside with a belt for The Fiend. That's right. Yeah. Yep. Good call there, sir. Now,
yeah. That's what I'm here for. Here's my question though.
Yeah.
Does it feel weird to acknowledge Goldberg as a WWE Hall of Famer, considering what his WWE career consists of?
Yes, simply because it's also the same weird of Sting.
Facts.
Sting's best appearances for the WWE were his debut and his last match.
Damn.
Not even WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania was that was an ego stroke.
It was a spectacle.
Yeah, it was a spectacle and an ego stroke.
But the debut, I remember that my excitement. I was a kid again for a brief moment in time. I was a kid again when he debuted the Survivor Series,
and then subsequently on the next night on Raw.
I mean,
same shit, because I was up not in the cheap seats, but I was up higher than I'm normally used to.
And you was like, yeah.
That type shit. I was like, oh, turn the fuck up then. Because the higher you sit in an arena, the more reckless the comments get.
Oh man, that was me at Mania 25. I was 3 rows from the fucking roof.
You see what I'm saying? The lower the ticket price, the lower the face value of the ticket price, the more reckless the comments get. So it's almost like Twitter. If you keep it surface level or you're real close to the ring, that's big money and bullshit talk.
And then when you're in an actual arena versus a stadium,
right?
It's really prime seating, because as you go up, the distance to the ring isn't as proportionate as one would think. It actually appears closer because you get a better view from the overhead. It literally is levels to this.
It's levels to it, and for those who don't know, when you come to DFW and you happen to go to any wrestling event or any event at Cowboy Stadium, there's literally, because of the way it's set up, there is no bad seat.
Oof, that's a hell of a charge right there, brother. Like, you just inviting people to go in there and do dumb shit.
I mean, y'all can go in there and do what you want to. I'm not gonna be fucking with everybody when I go. It's either gonna be in a suite,
right,
up top where I'm not bothered, or motherfucking down
low, three, 4 rows. The sweet spot where if something,
you know what I'm saying,
that's elevated,
where the rich shit talk go on.
the side betting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where the side betting go. That's the side betting section. There you go. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we're gonna put that into rotation.
Don't ask me how I know.
back to this 40 million though. We should side bet at a pay-per-view. We should get some randos at a pay-per-view and start.
I was about to say
betting.
That's the most sports entertainment shit ever. Me and you start side betting and then include the yahoos.
Be like motherfuck DraftKings. We got this shit covered right here. No, but not, don't fuck DraftKings, because I'm pretty sure they might have some money for us.
I mean, soon. I mean, the colors, just the
colors. The colors, Duke. The colors. Back to this 40 million though.
All right, so on the Strictly Business podcast, former WCW president Eric Bischoff noted that the wrestling business is all about money, and WWE made the right decision in February of 2020.
First thing I don't agree with.
Quote, I can give you about 39,999,000 reasons why that was a decent idea. It was all about business. It was all business. $40 million, and I know what wrestling fans are thinking. Oh my God, it's all about the money. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about the money. You're going to give the customer what the customer wants for $40 million. You're the chairman of the board of a publicly held company. Are you going to have to answer to your shareholders because you turned down $40 million because you didn't want a character to lose? $40 million, that's a class action lawsuit. You got to do what you got to do. If a character is strong, and Bray was, that loss isn't going to matter. A strong character can take a loss. Now, granted, that character is a very unique character, had to be handled in a very unique way, but it could have been possible to do it. Let's assume that loss to Bill Goldberg, for the sake of argument, in Saudi absolutely caused Bray Wyatt to hit a roadblock. Brick wall. Boom, crash. Does that cost you more than $40 million? The answer to that question, sir, is yes.
Yeah.
It ultimately did. The last time we saw Bray Wyatt was at WrestleMania in 2020, correct?
Is that 20 or 21?
It wasn't last year. Last year was outside.
Was it last year? Yeah, 20.
So if the last year he showed up at WrestleMania was 2020, and the last time we saw him in a WWE ring was on Monday Night Raw the day after Mania, when he hit the She Gone.
Wait. So wait, Goldberg becoming champ, that's the setup to 37. What? Are we certain?
38 was this year. So 36.
I was finna say that didn't. Yeah, okay. Because 35 was actually still outside. 36 was where they had to basically find something for him to do, and John Cena was it, but you didn't get an actual match.
No, that was no. 2020 was the same year Undertaker and AJ went into it at the what's called, that was quarantine.
Right, so that's 36.
Okay, but so. Who did Cena face? Cena faced
at 36. The Fiend. That's the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah. So my thing is this: does it cost more? Cost you $40 million?
Easy.
If the last time we saw the Fiend was the day after Mania, and he was on the way to murdering John Cena's merchandise, dollar wise.
Facts.
Fuck yes. That's we're talking 2 years, and the lockdown, like they put an end to it not long after that.
I mean, the loss to Goldberg's just started a downward slope, an avalanche of poor booking choices. Knowing, like, we broke down some of the mathematics on his merch in 2019 when he debuted. We were like, oh shit, the masks are selling, everybody wanted one for Halloween. Then he became champ. The replica belt was $400.
And people was buying them.
Every shirt he dropped sold out. The Firefly Funhouse stuff, the Fiend stuff. Like, he was a juggernaut of merchandise. Not to mention, he was the coolest character you had debuted in a long time. He was your new generation Undertaker.
It's hard to believe, fam. This fool debuted at SummerSlam 2019.
And walked Finn down and was the coolest shit on television.
2019.
Like, everybody was excited. Now we at 2022. He's no longer with the company, and TV ratings are in shambles. Yes, as a whole, you're making more money, but people are less interested in the product.
And I stand corrected. It was 21.
As the last time we saw him.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep, because he had the match with Orton at 37.
Yep.
Yeah. And started you crippled Alexa Bliss with the booking of the Fiend. Bruh. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you killed two birds with that $40 million stone.
Hope it was worth it, cuz.
Right, and I totally understand Bischoff's point of view, saying you have a line item that says, for this one event taking place, I made $40 million. How much did you lose in merchandising? Because of course you can't say revenue, because the TV deals that came in and around the same situations, like, you good. There's
and let's keep it
not hurting.
Let's keep it 100,000.
Do it.
Eric Bischoff has a bigger dog in the fight in Mike Rotunda than he has with Wyndham Rotunda. So let's not talk about how big the dog is with Goldberg in his fight.
But I get it.
Literally his creation. So he's gonna cap for his guy. And I'm with you too. I understand where he's coming from, but long term, if you turn the corner and actually do what, God forbid I say this, you actually do what the people wanted you to do with Bray Wyatt.
You'd have got that 40 how many times over?
In spades, you could have had a printing press with just Bray Wyatt's face on the bills.
Like, I don't think it's an understatement to say that character-wise, you had the modern day Undertaker.
That was it.
Because everybody felt that. Everybody had that same energy. He had, like, stadium level entrance, dope music, ridiculous presentation. Like, everything about what was going on that was your crossover. Like, that was you had so many different things that you could have done with him involving people from outside. Like, he was a Rob Zombie project waiting to happen.
He's literally trying to become the next Rob Zombie by doing,
you know what I'm saying?
getting outside.
WWE films.
Yeah.
Like, okay, there's your 40. If he gets a fucking horror movie through WWE films, like, we're having a completely different conversation.
The movie catalog isn't even on Peacock yet. There's your introduction.
A straight to network horror film starring The Fiend, directed by Rob Zombie. Tell me we can't get outside with that.
And
so it's either taking the fast 40 from Saudi, or you gonna play the long game with The Fiend. Now, obviously, because of different stuff we keep hearing about how he's so hard to work with, physically wasn't up to his previous level. They had questions about his work. All this shit I don't necessarily believe to be true, but take it with a grain of salt. Now, what did it cost you? How much different is WWE now as compared to February 2020?
Oh man,
is it better or is it worse?
I say it's stock even. I say we're stock even, but here's the problem: if Fiend were still there, we're stock up, because now now we have more conversation for Roman. Oh, by the way, this is your daily acknowledgement.
Okay, but when I say February 2020, you realize we're also coming off of the Royal Rumble 2020, where Edge re-debuted, Drew had his defining moment. I don't think The Fiend was anywhere to be found as far as the Royal Rumble was concerned.
Fiend was on a tear. I'm looking at matches right now. Going back to Crown Fool in 2019, The Fiend or Bray Wyatt won every match up until Super Slowdown 2020.
Which let's keep it a thigh out. The snowball rolling downhill goes back to the shit where I keep harping on it. Hell in a Cell 2019 is where you completely roll the ball down the hill and just said, fuck it, whatever happens. Because you had the second consecutive year with Hell in a Cell ending in a no contest. The match that has literally no rules for you to break, and a cage that's supposed to keep everybody out and everybody in, even though we know better. And you had a no contest, not one, but 2 years straight. And we gonna talk about passing up 40 overseas. Like, what are we gonna fix domestically? Have we been doing our job to the fullest of our mental capabilities? Domestically, that 40 don't even really register. It's just play money. It's sneaker money for them.
We're literally just the 40 I'm talking about is just this side of the world. We don't even spend the money.
I get what Bischoff means. I get what he's getting at. I understand it completely.
I respectfully disagree with his take.
Right. Just for real, I respectfully disagree. I feel like you've sacrificed a whole lot in equity with your audience by making rash decisions based solely on money, which begs this question. This is just the one we know about. How many other really poor booking decisions were influenced by someone else's pocket?
Really poor though. So I want you to analyze that. Give me some bad booking choices that happened in Saudi.
Goldberg over Lashley. Goldberg and The Undertaker.
Now that's probably the worst one of all time.
That's just poor execution. The booking wasn't bad. It's just those two people were not supposed to be in the ring together doing that.
Yeah, this is just somebody behind the joystick on create a wrestler or create a match mode and
facts. Roman versus Lesnar with the cage finish.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, that was definitely bad.
These are literally off the top of my head. These are not even. We're not pulling up match cards.
Greatest Royal Rumble.
I mean, that's something to entertain the people.
But
that's what
hold on. But money though. Think about how much money you spent to make that happen. 50 people in a Royal Rumble style match. You got to create a belt for the shit. And and you damn near kill. Or not you don't. But a wrestler damn near dies. In
Titus.
Yep.
Oh yeah. One extra step. We having a whole different conversation. So okay, with that. That's one of those I feel like, okay, yeah, you're going to pay the talent. You took 50 talents over there, or you took more than 50 because you needed 50 for the actual Ultimate Royal Rumble or whatever we're going to refer to it as, and whoever else was wrestling. That one I don't see as just bad booking. It's just like, how do you make this work? Like, it's 50 people, it's a Royal Rumble, you're going to get a belt made, they pick somebody to win. I don't think you were going to be upset no matter who won. Mansoor could have won it and we'd be like, all right, I'm no more excited about this shit than I was before. Here, take this trophy belt and take it home, put it on your wall. Yeah. We'll never see it again.
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
you probably have to pull up some match cards for me to be like, okay, the rest of this shit is terrible. Oh!
Saudi Arabia match cards?
Yeah. Why do I feel like Rollins and The Fiend happened like right after that?
Right after what?
Right after Hell in a Cell 2019, because it was a makeup call.
Let's see here.
So The Fiend ended up winning the title in Saudi in some type of Falls Count Anywhere goofy ass match, but the steam was off of it. It's like you kill the excitement and you basically pump the brakes.
Falls Count Anywhere at Crown Fool.
Bow. See what I'm saying? Whole lot of choppers on your ass. That's another one. And that's really because that's a makeup call because you made a poor decision the pay-per-view before that, and that's domestically. What else was fucked up over there? Because there's always something.
Well, the whole shit was they started going over there in 2018 after the killing of Jamal Khashoggi.
And then there's that.
So like now, like we already know everything we watch over there. It has this blood on it.
And we leaving people on the ground. We don't even have to get into how fucked up the entire relationship of going back and forth is. We just dealing with poor booking decisions because somebody has financial influence over the card.
Yeah.
Like, so basically you can make anything happen with, 40 mil. So if we just got an Elon Musk ear and said, you know what? I think Sami Zayn should be champion. We can buy that.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This year will be the 8th event for WWE in Saudi since 2018.
Okay. Oh, another one. Strowman didn't beat Lesnar when that's what 2017. When Roman had to drop the title due to his to leukemia coming back.
Well, no, that wasn't in Saudi.
They did have a match in Saudi. Lesnar versus Strowman.
Oh, Lesnar. Okay, I thought you were talking about Roman versus Strowman.
No.
Actually, Strowman. So let's go through all of them. See, so Strowman won the very first 50-man Royal Rumble by eliminating Big Cass, and you can't teach that.
Whoopity-doo. Neither one of them are there to talk about it.
How would you put this one on the money train? DX versus the Brothers of Destruction.
It was just somebody paid for it. I don't necessarily think you fucked off anything long term because everybody involved with that match was either retired or right next to it.
Okay.
Like retired or 3 doors down.
Yeah, that was the one that had Strowman versus Lesnar. That shit lasted like 3 minutes.
Yeah, like it was a complete. You didn't even get the car wreck of a match you thought you were gonna get. Like that was your other opportunity to crown Strowman, as if you didn't have a whole lot of.
Was anyway. That wasn't the slow your ass down match, was it?
No, that's No Mercy 2017. I will never. That's a sleeper ass pay per view on the cool because that's Cena versus Roman. That's Lesnar and Strowman. And it's a lot of cool shit on that card. But yeah, that right hook that almost
slow your big ass down.
Say, listen to me when I talk to you.
Oh man, out cold.
Better listen while you can still hear me.
Well, we I don't want to turn this whole show into a damn Saudi fest, but 26.
I mean, it's good to have that conversation on financials because Eric got way out there on that.
Yeah, 20 some odd minutes later. Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
Made daily with organic, farm to table, localized, neuralized, sterilized, Scotch guarded for 2020 repellent, available online, shipped via Amazon. Not available on Sundays, but now available on thebeastradio.com. Broken Pencil Logic. You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
Yeah, man. We made it through the holidays. Or holiday. Hotter than fish grease in the air.
Fam. Make this shit stop.
The devil said, I'm coming over for Burr.
Bruh, I'm so irritated.
The entire country, it seems like, is going through a goddamn heat wave. And,
it's like a heat wave.
My wife and I were even checking out houses in North Carolina. And this whole week, they're looking at mid to high 90s with thunderstorms every day.
Mid to high 90s plus thunderstorms?
No, thank you.
Somebody's brewing bathtub tornadoes. This motherfucker's outside of the cotton gin trying to get a whole national disaster cranked up.
Do not take a shower with your air conditioner on and that shit, and your windows open, because you about to. It looks like a tornado whipped through here. Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it really did.
Don't worry, it's like a bus. Another one gonna be through this bitch in 15 minutes.
Today is Friday, July 8th. Yeah, my Lord.
Yeah, my Lord.
I said, yeah, my Lord.
Yeah, my Lord.
20 and 22.
Hey, man.
Yo, Shane Taylor is in town tonight.
Gang.
And he's taking on the real Mike Bennett.
A lot of fucking gang shit.
You know,
that's unfortunate for Mike.
You know, Shane holding 2 belts. The Red River Championship and the VIP World Championship. He's
As he should.
holding those things down because that's what gangs do. They hold shit down.
Yeah, I have absolutely no problems with that whatsoever.
I want you to hear this fucking promo though.
Oh, I have heard that. I know what you're about to play me, and it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, this is the sad reality of the internet. The internet era is the fact that everybody can watch everything, but because it's so readily accessible, things fly under the radar. This one.
In 15 years of doing this, it is rare that I get a first. July 8th, Bedford, Texas, for the Red River Championship. It is the baddest of all time, Shane Taylor against the real Mike Bennett. Mike, I'm proud of you. For everything you have overcome in life, I am proud of you. You have turned this Boston strong style ideology into a real life Rocky story. Telling the average person that if they just keep fighting, they can overcome anything. The problem is you are lying to these people, Mike. The average person is not you. They don't look the way you do. Their wife doesn't look the way that yours looks. The average person, Mike, is a coward. The average person will sit there and bitch about their life. They will bitch on social media and they will do nothing to change it. You know what they do, Mike? They look at people like you. They look at people like me. And they hope we change the things for them. They hope we change their lives for them. And all they're gonna do is watch us fail. All they're gonna do is sit back and wait to see if we're successful, Mike, because the only thing that a coward loves more than doing nothing is watching a brave man fall. Unfortunately, I'm gonna give them what they want to see. Because the heart and soul of Boston Strong Style falls at the hands of the baddest of all time.
A whole lot of fucking gang shit. Well, I'd like to send my condolences to Mike Bennett's jawline.
Oh man, Maria, I really hope you have your life insurance in order for Mike.
You guys should work on hand signals because he might not be able to speak for a while.
Lloyd's of London on line 3, please.
Get hand signals down. See if you can't get a dry erase board.
Not to be confused with gang signs. No.
We need like baseball third base coach signs.
Yeah.
It's really just asking, do you want which flavor tea do you want, and do you want it hot or warm?
I don't even know. Bro, I really don't know what's going to happen to Mike other than
get his jaw tapped. That's what's going to happen.
The most shivering of forearms in pro wrestling history are possessed by the baddest of them all, Shane Taylor.
He's gang, so we not picking nobody else.
We're not even capping on the fact that he's gang.
No, we're not. And there's no cap about Mike Bennett knows what he's in for.
Not so sure. I'm not so sure about that, Suave.
He's seen the film, and I say, no, here's the thing. It's the suspension. Yeah, go tap the trigger.
Here's the thing.
It's the suspension of disbelief. You've seen all the footage. You've seen a lot of matches because you've done your homework and trying to figure stuff out. And you know how this goes for everybody else, but you think you're different. And because you think you're different, you'll actually put yourself in harm's way to prove that you are different, just to end up the same.
Good luck with that.
It's not gonna work out for you like you think.
Before we dig too deep into the agenda, we have another internet entry. This one Once again,
Whole lot of fucking gang shit.
the fourth man, Ron Murray.
You heard it here first. When and if the Street Profits break up, Montez Ford, he's eventually gonna be a champion, like a big belt champion. You feel what I'm saying? Talking clear business. But the other dude, Angelo Dawkins, might be a wrap for him. We might see him wrestling at your local bingo halls, maybe even an MLW championship. Like, I could see him something like that. I could see him going a route or something like, what's the guy, Moose, that played in the NFL and he's a champion at one of the other subsidiaries and he rebrand himself. I could see that. But yeah, man, I don't think Angelo Dawkins' stock is going to trend upward. It's going to be like Crime Time, but worse. There's actually going to be a star that comes from it, though. Montez Ford.
Ooh, that's a hot take loaded. I disagree, respectfully. I think Montez Ford will be a big belt champion. He's already packing on size in a very high clip, that more than what I expected. Who his body type reminds me of in terms of where he started to where he's at right now and where it looks like he's going to end up?
Who that?
Randy Orton.
You think so?
Remember how skinny Randy Orton was in 2002, 2003? Or how that's,
of course
skinny,
I do.
Slim, not skinny, slim. I never would have imagined that he would have filled out and packed on that much muscle. He probably gained about 20, 30 pounds worth of muscle over the 20 years. Montez Ford has probably added about 10 pounds just in the last year.
You think it's just 10?
Could be more.
It looks like somewhere in the 15 to 20 range, just on upper body mass. Pause.
And it's definitely upper body mass on that. And I can tell you this too.
He already had bunny hops too, so if he's working legs even half as much as he's doing upper body, he's like, yeah, he might surpass Orton.
It's dangerous if he adds more weight to his leg workout. It's dangerous what'll happen to him. More dangerous to the opponents. But on the other hand, Dawkins is an accomplished amateur. There is absolutely no reason to watch him suffer because one goes down. In fact, what I have seen over the last few days since Ron sent us that is both of these two campaigning for solo runs. Dawkins wants NXT run. Ford wants a WWE run.
Dawkins playing chess.
He is. He is.
There's no reason for you to stay on the main roster if there's a Street Profits split. Okay, say it's an amicable split. Say it's like a draft situation where they get split.
Like Devon and Bubba Ray.
That type of situation. Unless Dawkins already has a new character in his hip pocket, going to NXT is the move because whatever you got on your mind, you can work it out there. Build some steam, get some reps as a solo competitor, then make your way back up. Otherwise you're gonna get pigeonholed into doing Street Profits type shtick, while Montez is, he's on the loading dock for main event.
Do you repackage and rebrand Angelo Dawkins even by name, or do you keep the name the same and just fine tune the appearance?
It's entirely you too late in the game to be trying to change that man's name.
Thank you. I'm so glad you said that.
Now, one of the only times you've seen an established character eventually go on and change their name was like Justin Hawk Bradshaw changing into Bradshaw, then into JBL.
Yeah.
But you see how long of a span that covers. That's like 96 to 06.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't see any real reason unless the character you're going to give him with that name change is like, this is money on top of money.
What's crazy is Montez Ford has already undergone a name change.
To what?
No, not to what. From what?
From what?
Kenneth Crawford. You don't remember that?
No, I don't.
Yeah, he and Angelo Dawkins were known as Kenneth Crawford and Angelo Dawkins.
Sounds like a real estate agent.
Yeah, that was on NXT, but it was about a year and a half later
This is my guy from State Farm, Kenneth Crawford.
But
that's exactly what that sounds like.
How about this though? How about in real life? I know two Montez Fords, not the wrestlers.
That's crazy.
Both from the same state, and one of them was a roommate of mine in college.
Well, look at here.
This one definitely.
I would have swore you knew more Kenneths than Montez's, but hell, here we are.
Here we are. Although my mechanic is a Kenneth, but I digress. Oh, speaking of Kenneth, yo, hold on. Let me turn this down real quick.
What a segue.
Boy.
What a dice roll.
My guy, Michael Dirty Bird. Yes, his real name's Kenneth, but Michael Dirty Bird Hurd. You know what I'm saying? Came through for us.
Facts.
Hooked us up with the world premiere, which I was at first I was capping, but now it's real. It was actually a world premiere of the David Banner single "Swangin' Chad" featuring Bun Beta. Because bitch, Texas. And he pulled up on me last weekend. He drove 45 miles to the middle of nowhere, parts unknown USA, to let me preview David Banner's God Box 2 to what's available to date. I've told people this, I'm going to say it on record. This album is about 15 years overdue and still ahead of its time. Let that sit for a second.
Yupper. I can't wait to stream it, tomorrow. I'm going to do my
the album ain't dropping tomorrow. Just the single is. Yeah. Oh yeah. We got yeah. You know what it is.
I've been playing it from my iCloud files, but when I get to streaming and help run the numbers up, I'm gonna get down.
It is amazing that the interaction of one Lavelle Crump, aka David Banner, on social media with the Broken Pencil Gang.
Shout out to him and whoever else is on his team. If it's just him doing socials, he is out here beasting.
There's a lady named Regina that's involved. She wasn't involved this weekend.
See, you see what I'm saying? And the team, that's the type of team effort that gets you a vacation right after the release. Like, you get release week, knock that out, then take a 2-week vacation for the team, and then get right to touring.
In the 90s, early 2000s, this is the shit that gets you a plaque. This kind of grassroots work that they're doing, that we're doing. This kind of shit that gets you a plaque. And we didn't ask for this. Neither did they.
It's fucking refreshing.
Yeah, this is what happens when you do quality shit. You do quality shit, quality things happen.
Right. It gives me hope. It gives me hope for tomorrow, for a better tomorrow.
So my fellow Metanetter guy, Dirty Bird, I much appreciate it. I appreciate the lookout. The beer drinking was incredible. I still gotta get some more of your man's beer, but for the time being, let's ride out and swing with Chad. You know what I'm talking about? Wait, I just said that. Wow, it came out proper too. All right,
Tomai, yeah, straight like that.
Tomai.
I be trying to help somebody to help somebody.
All right, so back on the agenda.
I was gonna say we can roll to the next Kenny because there's another Kenneth out here getting.
Oh boy. Well,
Segways. We ain't talking about scooters in the mall.
I guess they killed Kenny would be the name of this episode.
Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
You bastards.
Yeah, that's the episode title. You bastard. You bastards.
All right, roll with it. Kenneth Omega. Kenny Olivier.
Twinkle Toes McFinger Bang. Oh my, that's the funniest nickname ever. Like that.
That's because you gotta
really dislike a motherfucker to dig into their whole situation in order to name them Twinkle Toes McFinger Bang. That's South Park. That's years of South Park coming out.
Oh man.
Oh, that's funny as shit.
So what's old Kenneth up to now? There's a couple of things he was talking about recently.
yeah, Kenny got outside and was like, and this kind of surprised me, and I agree. He says pro wrestling is getting too far away from telling stories, and they're relying too much on the athleticism. He said because most people nowadays are not well versed at the, I guess what we would call the mental aspect of telling stories in professional wrestling, but everybody's athletic, so they just lean on that and expect it to take the place of either match storytelling or on television storytelling, with a story arc. I agree with that part.
Yeah.
He said I do. I feel like there are not enough stories being told. Or they're not being told effectively enough. And then he also went on to say, I guess him thinking this way is more so because of how his rehab is going. He's like, one more major setback, he's done. I think that might be a little dramatic because you frustrated about rehab, but he's like, there's a lot of stuff when I come back, I don't even know if I'll be able to do. Meaning, like, whatever repairing they did on him was fucking serious.
Considering how long he's been out and having to, like, 'cause I'm sure he's healthy enough to compete.
When you're dealing with neck and spine and nerve issues, you can't. It's a lot. Like he may really not be healthy enough to compete because that first bump is going to shock and jar a lot of shit. And yeah, you only got so many bumps on your card anyway. But then you add the jolt and the shock of nerves reacting, or nerves that are pinched from someone who knows what neck and nerve and those issues feel like. Yes, you want to be active, but as an athlete, there's always going to be shit that, it's muscle memory. There are things that you naturally try to do. And at any point you start doubting whether or not you can do those things, or you try to do them and you can't do them as effectively, it changes your approach. And then that's when you get hurt worse, or you hurt something else. Okay, I always use Dak Prescott as an example for like all types of different shit, but this is really, really one. Compound fracturing your ankle. You come back, you don't know how the ankle's gonna work, so you overcompensate, and you end up with a shoulder injury. You heal the shoulder injury, you kind of feel better on the ankle, but you have an issue where you tweak the ankle in a game. Now you're overcompensating for the tweaked ankle, still thinking about the shoulder. Now the hamstring on the same leg is fucked.
And psychologically, you already know you're thinking about that ankle.
You can't get out your own head about any of it. So now you got 3 injuries when you just had 1. As if the quarterback position doesn't require enough mental preparation as is, just with the X's and O's. Now you got to think about my ankles. I'm on a repaired ankle. I done strained my calf on the same leg. I also fucked my throwing shoulder up same side. So now my whole right side is fucked. Or my whole left side is fucked. Either way. Or worse than that, both my sides are fucked up at different levels. And I'm trying to put up 400 yards a game. So that's where I absolutely cut him slack. But like that's how injuries work with athletes, and you have to get out of your own head. Kenny is used to a very, no pun intended, breakneck style.
Yeah, snap. Everything is snap. Crisp motion.
He sells hard. He does a lot of shit. There's some things in his game he's gonna be able to keep. Like V-trigger, he'll be able to do that shit. He'll be fine. The one wing angel, that shit might be gone. Some of that shit just might not work. He might still be able to do the leapfrog rocker dropper, maybe. But like the match he had with Christian, I guarantee you will not see another one like that, where he takes the unprettier on a chair.
Yeah, I think all that extra stuff, because remember him versus Okada, he was on that skinny, hard ass, unbreakable ass table they have over in Japan.
Right. So yeah,
never again.
Japan shaved some years off of him.
Well, while we're talking about Kenneth, I mean, I hate that we had to give him this much time, but I mean, we're on the topic, so there's that.
I mean, it is professional wrestling, but we didn't even get to the main reason he got out. He got outside with Jimmy Cornette again.
Quote.
Like, I'm hoping that's not an old quote somebody pulled. Like, that seems like some shit that was said a long time ago.
This seemed like something that was done. It sounds as dated as it does sound relevant for the situation because he's not in the public picture right now. So here it is. Quote. I think Jim Cornette has backed himself into a corner where now he's found this group of extremely pathetic human beings who have nothing, no other thing to aspire to become, or no one to base their life off of, no one to listen to, no one to adhere to their commands. And so when it became a character that he could play as though he was still traveling up and down the strip in the indies like back in the old days, now he's got this group of people hanging off his every word. And all he has to do is sit and talk on a podcast with some other guy. When he realized he could make money by delivering hateful speech, he backed himself into a corner, and now, if he wants to make rent, he has to buy a fancy McDonald's double cheeseburger meal. He has to talk about things that are going on to get attention and a lot of time, and that's going to be yours truly. Boy, get over yourself.
Right, you haven't wrestled in a year, and for those who listen to Cornette's 2 podcasts that drop every week, he hasn't mentioned him more than passing in like a very long time.
The fact that Cornette won't even call him by his wrestling name,
right?
Like, come on, man.
But there's been nothing to discuss. You've been mending for like what? We're at a year now.
But when is the last time Jim Cornette has actually called him Kenny Omega?
I think maybe sort of recently, and it was because they were talking about the video game shit. He mentioned him in a news story, and they talked about the news story itself. It wasn't a defaming attack. His reviews of AEW television, they're not as bad as they were like beginning of the pandemic. They talk about the stuff they like. They talk about the stuff they don't like. And
that's the shit I don't like.
That man has what, 40, 50 years of wrestling experience. You expect him not to be able to dissect shit? He does it, but he does it for both brands. So what's the real? Either you want people to talk about you or you don't, because like you could say the same thing about Meltzer. Meltzer downplays a whole bunch of shit. Is obviously extremely irresponsible with his social and civil discussions, but he shoots down anybody who has anything that has the perception of negativity around AEW. So everybody's doing it for a check. Nobody's doing this shit for free. You either doing it for a check or for the pursuit of a check. So what is this a situation where the participants of the wrestling industry are going to be the reason there's never a real wrestling media? Because now this whole generation is sensitive as fuck. And more out, and just as outside as the previous generation. That's the part that like don't line up. We just talked about, mustache guy ending up as a ride director at fucking Disney.
This sensitivity that you're speaking of is the same sensitivity that got Jim Cornette subsequently removed from NWA programming, and they haven't been the same ever since then. They were actually on the uptick because of his commentary on a weekly free show.
And now he's making that money plus some from the comfort of his own home. And like, who really won?
And the crazy thing is, as we discussed on this very podcast, is something he's been saying since the 1980s. So, not to say it was right or wrong, but 80s, you got nothing. 90s, you got nothing. 2000s, you started seeing some agita. 2010s, he wasn't even relevant. 2020s, well, no, the late teens, but not the early and mid teens, but 2020s is all about podcasting. He reinvents himself just back into wrestling on the commentary side, because why the hell not? Just to pull the plug on him again?
Because you got the MLW stint on commentary.
Oh yeah, I forgot about my bad. And then also the ROH and the TNA shit.
Like
I'm discounting some major shit.
He has had a consistent check from the industry of professional wrestling at one level or another for almost a 50 piece. Fried hard.
Boy.
Like, everybody, you see the shit we talk about all the time. Everybody wants to make shit okay when you're making money for it. So now, leave him be.
As a character, no less. And that character is James E. Cornette.
But this the shit he thinks for real. Like, okay,
yeah.
for people who listen to the podcast, like, you get a lot of wrestling breakdown. You understand why things do or don't make sense. There is a bit of a generational gap depending on the type of wrestling you started watching first. My first brushes with wrestling are during the time he was probably making the most money as an actual manager. So it's the 80s, the early 90s. So having that perception of professional wrestling, I completely understand where he's coming from when he breaks things down. And more times than not, I agree with it. Whereas somebody who might have started watching during the Monday Night era or subsequently after, they may have a different view.
Anybody who watched Cornette as their introduction to his body of work during the Monday Night Wars, where he had the NWA Invasion and was managing the Heavenly Bodies, the Rock and Roll Express, Dan Severn, you were robbed. Plain and simple, you were robbed. There's way other stuff out there if we start your catalog with.
It's strange, bro. Like, I don't see where we're gonna end up if we keep playing this game of they say something I don't like. Not untrue, I just don't like it. So we're gonna try to wipe you completely off the face of the earth.
Well, we don't have to worry about Omega and Cornette for that. I got a good one for you.
What you got?
Are you familiar with the Wrestling Entertainment Series?
Yeah, I am.
So, wrestling organization that was started by the AOP, or the Legion of Pain. This is
we went from op to lop.
I mean, out the lop. And this is something that when I saw it, I thought this was going to be a really good thing for wrestling, because as of right now, journeymen who are passing through have GCW, and after the shit that they tried to pull they did pull it off last week. Somebody damn near died, almost bled out in a fucking ring. This will be a healthy alternative to that for people to go back and do a quick tour over in the UK, over in England, and basically in the UK, and get familiar with that area of the world again, and also have fans who don't see certain stars for periods of time due to their lengthy contracts in the majors to get familiarized with their work again and actually spend some more intimate time with these cats, right? These guys and girls. So slated for a July 9th appearance was Adam Scherr, CJ Perry, Lena Fanene, and Deonna Purrazzo, as well as I believe Chelsea Green was involved with this too, to some degree. Lena Fanene was apparently the first one to pull out, and let's see here. Actually, who else was on this? Eric Young, Big Damo, Steve DeLander, and Moose were apparently paid. Lena Fanene ended up making only half of what she was originally agreed to up front. Out of the 10,000 seats that were available, there were less than 350 seats sold for the event. Also, Dean Mutati, he'll play a key factor in the story here in a second. But that event's been canceled. And here is their notice to the general public as to the whys behind the what. Quote, "Dear fans and followers, unfortunately we will have to cancel the event scheduled for this Saturday at the Motor Point Arena in Nottingham, England. We are deeply disappointed in the news that we have to share, but with so many talent not showing up, we have no choice but to cancel no choice then to cancel the event. Our team worked so hard on this event day in and day out for the fans to come with a different type of wrestling event, and believe that still will be able to show that in the future. We do not want to say that all of our talent that was scheduled have been paid in full, and that Lena Fanene was paid her deposit, as well as she changed her mind and did not want to show up to wrestle anymore. But for now, we have to apologize for this, but not promise that it will end here. See you soon. Team WES.
That's rough.
We probably will never see the Legion of Pain again on big time TV. Dean Mutati has been sitting over there for a few days apparently, and since the cancellation has decided to hold a free meet and greet in the same location as the event. That's some stand-up shit right there.
Facts. So, why you think you'll never see him on big TV again?
They were the promotion. If they're blaming the talent for this event going south, how can they in clear conscience go to another locker room and not expect like bad shit to happen? Like, professionals are professionals, and that's one thing, but you're putting entire, like, you're putting people under the bus by basically saying that this event ain't going on because wrestlers got paid and decided not to show up.
I mean, every rapper ain't a CEO or a show promoter either. So, but at the same time, when they go back to being a rapper, rappers fuck with them. So maybe this is just like, this is a clear sign that, hey, we may have the money to do this, we may even have the desire, we don't have the infrastructure. So either we need to find the right people to put in place, or we just need to go back to doing what we did to get this money in the first place. So we'll Paul Ellering will be with us wherever we decide to go, which it seems like a perfect situation for Jacksonville, because either you can go to Ring of Honor and crash out there, or you can do AEW, which is like, one show a week and 3-4 pay-per-views a year, get your money together and live happily ever after. Now, with talent either not showing up, like they're not making the trip, you can't control that. If you pay the deposit and then that person decides for whatever reason they're not going to participate, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Because we do know, either from things we've seen personally or things that just are public knowledge, once shit gets cranked up, and if Stanford finds a way to fuck with it, they will. Stanford's petty. We know this. So what is it to say, okay, they paid your $10,000 booking fee, gave you $5,000 deposit, and then Stanford calls and say, well, we got something for you, we'll give you 40 to not go.
Not go, yeah. Sit down, don't move.
40 in an NDA.
Man, Chelsea Green.
Feel me?
Yeah, Chelsea Green took to Twitter to respond to the statement. Quote: instead of blaming the talent who took weeks off to come to work for your new company under the impression that you could be trusted, try refunding the fans and apologizing for your lack of organization.
Obviously, that has to be coming one way or another, either by choice or by force. The refunds are gonna happen.
I mean, it's nothing.
Period.
It's nothing for me to call the bank and be like, "Hey, reverse this. I'll pay a fee."
That's why you buy everything with a credit card, because the credit card company gonna get their motherfucking money back immediately.
Yep.
You'll see that shit come back in like 3 to 5 business days, and that's being like generous. Super generous. You pay with a debit card 60, 90 days, it's gonna be all type of shit. You're gonna have to jump through hoops and prove all type of different stuff. But the refunds are coming. Second of all, I ain't even gonna go there, because that's gonna get us in trouble. I know what I wanted to say, but that's gonna get us in trouble, so I'm gonna skip that part. I mean, look, if you got paid to show up and didn't show up, you on some bullshit. Period. Whether they paid your deposit or paid you in full, if you got paid to show up and you didn't, what are the best abilities?
Availability and reliability.
Straight like that. So you didn't exhibit either one of those. Like, I wish we had Snow on the cast right now to remind you motherfuckers about what a contract means. So if you're not gonna follow through, I don't think you that's that gaslighting and virtue signaling and all these other different fucking, you know, terms we have to learn how to use nowadays. Like, you did the Chris Jericho shit. That's easily a conversation that can be had between you and whoever it needs to go to. Because it sounds like you just putting shit out in the air that people haven't gotten refunds yet. So you didn't say anything about you not getting paid. You just said you took weeks off. See, weeks off from what?
Oh, man.
Took weeks? Nah, okay. Keep it real. Me and you, DJ, we do a whole bunch of different shit.
We outside.
So, we outside. So imagine someone says, we want to bring you overseas. We want y'all to tandem DJ this tour. Cool, we on. We negotiate our price. The price we negotiate is obviously going to be something that encompasses how long we're going to be away from home.
Yes.
So it's not just the services, it's the amount of effort that we have to put in to pull this off. We're going to be away from our families, away from our homes, spouses and children. So I need compensation not only for what I do when I'm with you, but to make sure that my house is able to run smoothly in my absence. So once whatever that number we come up with, plus tax, and we submit that invoice and that's paid, there's no more conversation about how long I gotta be gone.
Kiss the kids, hug the wife, be out.
Straight like that. Here's some money for right now. Soon as I get this next piece, here.
Meanwhile, here go Earn and Paperboy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point, like, when did we do this? Like, why are we out here living like this? Why are we out here no. You can't do that. Or if you did it, you trash for that. Weeks? You took weeks off from what? You took weeks off from something and didn't get compensated for it. That's even dumber. I'll never do that.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. I'll never take weeks off from the shit I get paid for to do some shit I ain't getting paid for or ain't getting paid enough for.
Ever.
Ever.
It actually literally saves you money to do nothing.
Facts. You can just sit on your ass like you've been doing. Or take the indie bookings around town like you've been doing. The only reason you signed on for an overseas event is either for profile or because they met the quote number that you didn't think anybody else would.
Well, fast forward. Kaya Stevens, aka Awesome Kong, is back in the news.
Gang.
Now she's talking about her time in AEW, and we've heard stories from Big Swole, from what's the lady from Japan?
Hikaru Shida.
And we've heard
that's a toss back to last week with us with trying to pronounce Kazuchika Okada.
Facts.
Hikaru Shida.
That's it. You can sign up for Google Translate with that one. That translation right there.
G1.
She's talking about her first year working in AEW, and apparently she says that she never got a chance to have control. She's like, if I had control, give me 15 minutes of Kaya. Kaya's 15 minutes of fame. Go out there and steal the show from the boys. You, Nyla Rose, go steal the show from the boys. And that's how she would handle it. But she was also saying that she felt like she was unheard. Quote, I wasn't in control. All I could do was say, I have this idea of XYZ. I couldn't get in the room where the final decisions were made. Believe me, Kaya Stevens stalked that room I would stay there after big meetings and pick up bottles of water and cups like, huh? Y'all need me to go? Okay. And I tried to get into that last meeting where decisions were made. Never had a chance to. That's just not going to happen. So I'm not going to push it. Now, here's my thing about this. Are you really angry because you didn't get a seat at the table when the table was never set for you? Like, I can understand if you actually have good ideas and people come to you with the premise and say, if you have a good idea, submit it, we'll take it under consideration. Nothing that anybody has said, Karushita, Big Swole, nothing that anybody has said before now says that precedent was set prior to her leaving or prior to her being signed to AEW. So why?
I actually kind of disagree with that, because what they told, you remember when Big Swole came out with her her version of what was going on, she said basically you needed to come up with your own shit. Like there was a lack of structure. If you didn't, closed mouths didn't get fed. So if you didn't bring up something, you might not get shit because ain't nobody doing the thinking for you.
Man.
So if you can't actually speak to somebody to put an idea in the rotation, it's like, well, I'm double fucked. Ain't nobody thinking about me, and I can't even reach out and grab my own life raft. So then you end up with the Nightmare Collective.
As well as the Nightmare Family.
Then there's that.
Like literally a split faction of the exact same faction.
But does that not seem like mismanagement? You take a wrestling star who's been, that would be her third major promotion on television, so she's recognizable. Also a Netflix series.
I was about to say fourth if you count
mainstay.
Netflix.
That's why I was going to backdoor with Netflix, because that goes into the acting vein. She is a main character on, how many seasons of Glow does Glow have? 3?
2 or 3.
2. Yeah, so it's not like a one and done thing. You've had at least 2 seasons. Like, she's a mainstay. Her face is as recognizable as anybody else on your television. Possibly more so because Impact and / TNA during their uptime, WWE for a short spell, AEW, Japan, Netflix, which is global. You know what I'm saying? Like, how would you not take any type of suggestions from that person?
Yeah, she's a battle-tested veteran of more than 10 years, which to me is enough to be able to submit ideas.
Like, let's keep it 1,000. She might have been the second most famous person next to Chris Jericho when AEW first kicked off.
Damn.
Like and that's me, like, I'm giving Jericho a little bit more credit than probably I should. She might have been the most famous.
At the time, it was probably warranted. But you might be right, because from a women's perspective, she definitely was the top dog. Like, she should have been earmarked for a title, but she did the right thing by, making it look good for the younger people, for the younger talent.
Fuck the right thing. What's the right amount?
What I wouldn't give to see Kaya Stevens versus Serena Deeb right now.
Kaya Stevens versus Nyla Rose, because they refuse to pull the trigger on what we all know.
Boy,
I don't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe the idea hasn't been pitched, or the person who had the idea couldn't get in the fucking room. You see what I mean by this shit? Like, this, and let's be honest. This is the third woman in the span of 18 months who's come forward about a disconnect between talent and the front office in terms of communication. And back to Kenny, you bastards. Kenny was in charge of the women's division, so the person you would have needed to speak to was Kenny. So Kenny got his ears closed?
I mean, maybe.
So yeah, we have issues in the communication between whoever's over the division and the participants in said division. Because if Sheeta's having financial issues and she's not really living her best life here over stateside. That's one thing. Big Swole says there's a lack of structure creatively, not enough detail or attention to certain talents. You basically out here flapping in the wind. And she said, you know what? I don't like this. I'm gonna try my hand elsewhere. All of a sudden, when she started to shed a little bit more light about what was going on, then Kanos, showed his petty side. Now you have this third individual, the most tenured of them all. She ain't really beefing about it, but she's like, hey, this is what it was when I was there. I couldn't get an idea out. I couldn't get in the room to talk to the people that could potentially say yes or no to the ideas I had. And she doesn't seem pressed in, from what we're reading. Now, we haven't heard any audio if there is any, but she doesn't seem pressed about it. And you know why? Because she's the most financially established of the three.
Man, I mean, you've been in the game as long as you have, unless you want to. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I had to say it 3 times to check myself. I almost went somewhere that I shouldn't have gone. But no, you're absolutely right. She's been in the game long enough to and put some money back, and then she's also got the Netflix, or had the deal on Netflix. Like, if she doesn't have paper, it's on her. She could easily be the breadwinner, but for her household, that's neither here nor there. She's financially stable with this industry,
right?
Or has been. So, like, you hate. It's just one of those things that you hate to see, that someone so talented had to retire because the industry didn't dictate that she was a necessity. But good for her, because she can go home and parent. Good for her because she can go home healthy. Because we never heard of her having a real injury outside of giving birth.
And she can speak her truth and not worry about losing money behind it. We good already.
Right.
So now I can tell the truth, and you can't tell me shit that's gonna bother me.
Yo, speaking of shit that ain't gonna bother me, we've talked about this, these guys ad nauseum. We feel that we're looking at the one of the greatest eras in tag team, if not the greatest era in tag team wrestling, and we've even seen round 1 of this one. But coming off the heels of AEW Dynamite, Top Guys issued a challenge. Challenge was answered. Listen to this.
Yo, first of all,
here we go.
If y'all gonna mention our names on national television at 10 o'clock at night, can somebody please at least let me know?
Man, come on, I'm getting phone calls.
Yo, give us a warning.
I think I got chicken house alarms going off.
Yo, it's July.
I'm running down through the chicken house in my underwear.
It's the middle of July. It was 80 degrees last night, man. We gotta keep these lines open. We got farm out here.
I didn't know what was going on, but hey. Yeah, run it back.
Hey,
run it back.
Hey, but don't get it twisted. We certainly appreciate it. Yeah. Y'all mentioning us. Yeah, so run it back, FTR Briscoes too. Hey, let's do that shit.
Let's do this, baby.
Let's do that shit. It seems like people really enjoyed that last one, chick.
Critically acclaimed. Hey, I thought it was a pile of horsemen.
I thought it was a pile of horse shit.
Worst night of my professional career.
Hey, but we gonna run it back. Hey, but now what does FTR have in common with all the other tag teams out there?
Tell me what they do.
They got their best match ever from the Briscoes. Can I be real with them, chick?
I think you being real with them.
Hey, and now let's break it down, though. Leading up to that match, we was busting our ass. We knew this baby was coming.
Big Murphy's here.
Bless the Lord, the baby's here. But we knew the baby was coming, so we knew we had to stack up in the spring.
Hustling extra hard.
All right, we was doing 2-3 shows a week, doing
30, 40, 50 matches. Even before that match.
Hey, we had to stack up. We knew what we had to do.
4 matches that very week.
We had 4 matches that weekend. We wrestled FTR. That was 3.
Hold on, let me stop real quick. What is Chicken always doing on these videos?
What are the chickens always doing?
No, what is Chicken? Mark Briscoe, what is he always doing in these videos?
Drinking.
Drinking
chocolate milk. No, he had drinking Nesquik because he had strawberry milk before.
Yeah, he's on some Nesquik. He got his bunnies up.
4, okay?
Yeah, he is a dairy factory.
We was a little tired, maybe. We ain't making no excuses.
Hey, they got it.
They got it. Hey, but now look at y'all. Now y'all boys on a hell of a run. I give it to you.
They
hell of a run, but hey, look like y'all boys might be getting ready to run out of gas.
See, the difference between then and now is, hey, I'm feeling like a daisy, baby.
We fresh as daisies, son. We fresh as daisies. FTR, this run that y'all's on is getting ready to hit a brick wall. We kick-started y'all boys. Y'all ran a whole circle, and now y'all about to hit a damn brick wall.
Y'all about to find out.
Lowell, Massachusetts, Briscoe's FTR 2. Let's do this shit and shine them belts up, boys, so we make it 13 times. Dem Boys back in the house. Chick cut that shit off. Woo!
God, they make it hard to not be like.
Look, if you're trying to sell me a show, and you start off by selling me FTR Briscoes 2, you've made a major step in piquing my interest to purchase this event.
It's downhill from there, but how far and how fast downhill depends on the weight of the person on the ride. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man. So I mean, we gonna see. However,
yeah.
If the rest of the card is strong, yeah, you will see.
So we'll talk about ROH Death Before Dishonor on next week's show.
We got time.
In detail. We got time to let the card build up. I just hate the fact that this pay-per-view is in about 2.5 weeks, and actually 2 weeks now, and we have 2 matches. This title match for FTR versus the Briscoes, or Top Guys versus Dem Boys, if you prefer, and then Jay Lethal versus Samoa Joe for the ROH TV title. So that's all we have right now.
It's a good start.
It's a nice start, bro.
the rest of the undercard is what's going, because you're gonna get a Jonathan Gresham match. So the rest of the
he's going to be in a tag match with Lee Moriarty tonight versus Tully Blanchard Enterprises' own Gates of Agony. Shouts out to Khan. You know what I'm saying?
Khan.
And speaking of Khan, rest in peace to James Khan.
So I mean, we got to figure out how that's going to work. Yeah, I'm not mad at what's going on for that right now. That sounds like a good idea. So we do have an answer about something we asked before.
Okay.
We're like, with the formation of Ring of Honor, since Ring of Honor doesn't have television, would the higher ups with the whole merger, would they be upset if Kanos did business with the Briscoes in a separate venue? Or is it just, you're doing business with us?
Let me quote Lauren Hill.
We don't want them on TV.
Let me quote Lauren Hill when I tell you, I add a motherfucker so you ignorant hear me. What do I mean by that? MJF dropped the biggest F-bomb ever on live national television. Internationally, it wasn't even edited on the live showing, and disappears, gets scrubbed. But we made damn near a whole episode about the Briscoes and the reason why they weren't on AEW television, and reasons why they possibly wouldn't be and possibly could not ever be on AEW television. But leave it to MJF to say fuck on TV and make the Briscoes not look nearly as bad for the shit they did 12, 13 years ago.
Oh no, they still look bad for it because they're not. This isn't happening. They're not doing anything on TNT. You can say it looks bad. Not in comparison. You know why. You know exactly why.
Yeah, I do.
Beyonce got a song called "Who Run the World."
Do you think we get them on AEW television prior to Death Before Dishonor?
I don't know. I have no idea. I can't call that one at all. If you do, then you might as well sign him.
Mark and Jay, we still want you on the show.
Like, yeah, like you going to stop the per diem shit. Like, it ain't gonna be just spot pay.
Nah.
If they show up on a Turner network,
they are all elite.
Yeah, period. Period. There has been a contract signed. Cause nah. You're gonna have to sign them.
You're not gonna send them back to Nashville to go win these belts from the Good Brothers again, are you?
I think you've done all you can do.
And that was more of a homecoming because I didn't know they were twins until I saw some early match. They were in Impact back when they were like 18 years old, or TNA, and that they were twins. I didn't even realize it.
Fam, there's only 2 places to go from here, or 3.
Up
Stanford,
or out?
Stanford, Jacksonville, or everywhere else.
which they've already done.
Traveling vacuum salesman. We here to suck up all the money. Straight like that. So it's one of those 3. And at some point, they just gonna be like, you know what? Chicken farming ain't so bad.
Running through this Money in the Bank card real quick. Liv Morgan became your women's Money in the Bank contract winner. And then later
that was shocking.
Later on, after Ronda Rousey defeated Natalya by submission, apparently she was a little injured in her knee. Liv Morgan comes out with the cash in, and the most unassuming cash in ever. I really thought she was about to lose, but your winner, SmackDown Women's Champion, and to very high praise, Liv Morgan.
The crowd likes who they like, and they really like Liv Morgan. Her co-workers speak glowingly of her.
The industry as a whole speaks glowingly of her. Damn near everybody from every organization that's active on social media gave her a live congratulations via Twitter.
Facts. So she's likable on camera, off camera. Hopefully they give her booking and stories that make this title run somewhat memorable. You need something positive to happen with women to wipe away the fact that you don't have women's tag team champions anymore.
Oh, and speaking of them, they have been removed from the WWE roster. That is Sasha Banks and Naomi.
Until I see something that says
All Elite.
No. Just I see an official release. I need something official.
I don't think you're going to see anything from WWE that says that's official. That's official simply because it puts a light on things that they don't want to advertise.
But okay, look at it like this then. You don't want to put the light on it as far as they've been released, but you go through the legal part of them being released, and they just decide, you know what, we finna play the game backwards. We're not gonna we meaning Naomi and Sasha, we're not gonna say shit about being released. We're just gonna show up on Dynamite on day 91.
And that could very well be the case.
You gotta play the long game, you bastards. Like the Goldberg shit, you took the Fast 40, and now what? Now your product looks like Fast and Furious 40.
Oh man.
There's no more car tricks you can do. There is no more smoke and mirrors. There's no more nitrous oxide that you can pump into an old school or a new school to make it do anything that we haven't seen. But we're on the 40th fucking movie. You took the Fast 40 and didn't play the long game. So now with this, it would be better if you got in front of it. You tried to leak the story to take some of the attention off McMahon. Like everything that we know, time, especially in this social climate that we're in, you got 2 weeks to be in the news cycle. If you can survive those 2 weeks, everything starts to go away. Good, bad, and different.
Fast.
Ain't nobody talking about McMahon no more.
Man, how fast that go away?
You feel me? That man stepped down as CEO. A week and a half ago?
Not even. It was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, 2 weeks ago. Prove my point. 2 weeks ago was the biggest thing you could talk about. Now, it's another day at the office. 2 weeks.
Amazing.
Joy comes in the morning is a month, like bruh, you bastards. You mean to tell me you gonna crucify me, but if I can survive for 2 weeks,
And
I'm back outside?
And actually looking at the roster right now, Sasha and Naomi are both still on there. So
till they off the website with future endeavors, we can't say shit.
Yeah, even though the title says it's vacant and been held for 47 days. Like, just get rid of the title. Matter of fact, get rid of them and the titles if you want to prove me right over here. Other notables: Bobby Lashley defeated Theory for the U.S. title. Theory becomes the 8th person into the Money in the Bank men's match, and he becomes the Money in the Bank contract holder. Everybody else retains. The Usos retaining the shadiest damn victory over the Street Profits. That was just, I don't know what the fuck that was. It's a setup.
That's a setup for SummerSlam. That's all.
Bianca Belair defeated Carmella, and
as expected.
After the show went off the air, Pat McAfee, who's known for calling Baron Corbin bum ass Corbin, gets active on Pat McAfee and gives him the deep 6 on the floor and accepts a match for SummerSlam. What the crazy part is, immediately after this happened, social media goes nuts and posts a picture of Tom Peastock and Pat McAfee from the 2009 Colts roster, Indianapolis Colts roster, and and they had the hashtag long-term storytelling behind the picture.
That's one of those terms that, like, if you're not paying attention to the joke, the term long-term storytelling will start to annoy the fuck out of you, because that's the excuse that gets used every time some shit don't pan out. Wait for it. Just wait to see what they do. It's long-term storytelling. Like, no, it's fucking terrible.
That's your bitch ass.
Yeah, it's terrible long-term storytelling. Stop wasting my fucking time. Yeah. But this is actually pretty funny. Like, that joke there, that's pretty funny. Here's the crazy thing, though. As of right now, you have just as many matches booked for SummerSlam that involve participants from a different world and not the show with Dwayne Wayne.
From where you come from?
Yeah, different world from where you come from. Pat McAfee, NFL, podcasting lore, all around fuck you money. Yeah, all around fuck you money.
And shouts out to his new contract too.
Price just went up.
New multi-year deal to sit at the table and get turned up.
And I don't know if you saw the tweet by Michael Cole or not, but Michael Cole has given Pat McAfee the highest of praise. Says that Pat McAfee makes him want to come to work, made him fall back in love with wrestling all over again and be a fan.
That's super cool.
That not only is that cool, but people are making videos of just Michael Cole's reactions to shit. That shit is hilarious.
Like him like basically being invested in the product. Even when the product is shitty, at least give me the energy that says you're excited about it and not just going through the motions. Pat McAfee is responsible for that, and the energy is infectious to the point that Michael Cole has adopted some of those same traits.
Michael Cole and Taz. Michael Cole, Pat McAfee. Jerry the King Lawler, Jim Ross. Jim Cornette. Jim Ross, Paul Heyman. Like, these are combos that make you watch wrestling. I can't tell you what's happening on Monday Night Raw because I'm really sick of Graves and Saxton.
And boy, have they turned Graves into a sister wife or what? Man, like, bruh, like, keep it real. Not that long ago, we had Corey Graves marked as like modern Bobby Heenan.
He was on his way.
On commentary.
Then he got in his way.
He's stuck making jokes about Byron Saxton every week.
And sucking up to his wife every time she walks out.
Look, that's one thing. I mean, if you're going to go public with it, get the money. But it's like they completely declawed him, pulled the fangs, and devenomized the snake. Shout out to Jack Tunney.
Jack Tunney.
We were told that the snake had been devenomized by the lab. What lab?
The same lab that has a DNA test for Vince McMahon's illegitimate children.
Yeah, shout out to Ken Anderson.
Kennedy!
Kennedy.
Yo, so you said Pat McAfee is from football, and we're talking about some of the SummerSlam matches that are booked so far. What else?
Then you got his opponent, NFL, even though he's gone through the developmental system.
Okay.
Lesnar's a homegrown WWE talent, but
Yep.
he spent as much time as a UFC fighter as he has as a wrestler.
Factuals, which is one reason why he's still able to go to the level that he is at 45 years old after having a large portion of an organ removed.
And people forget that. Like, he's such a dominant beast of a human being that you forget he's missing half of his insides.
Hey, but wrestling 4 matches a year versus 104 matches a year will do that for you.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's how you play the game. Smarter,
not harder. And then also
Jake Paul.
Bobby Lashley, who actually he didn't spend as much time away from the and MMA as Lesnar.
Nah, he got way more service hours in wrestling.
But Bobby Lashley has more MMA fights than Brock Lesnar.
And then there's that.
So, every match has representation so far from an outside world. Let me give you a fourth one. With the newly signed Logan Paul, I would dare say Logan Paul versus The Miz is going to be on this card too, especially since it's going to be in an arena.
That's 100%.
So
that's locked and loaded. That's one I was already counting.
That's 2 more people from an outside world.
So at this point, almost half your card.
So far, we're 4 matches deep, and we're 4 for 4.
And it's SummerSlam season, so you know it's gonna be more people come out the woodworks. Are we gonna get Cardi B back outside the house now?
I mean, she
babyless?
so
can we get Meg Thee Stallion back involved?
It's definitely hot girl summer, so make it happen.
Or because it's hot girl summer and all the shit that's going on with the front office, we're not gonna go full hot girl summer this summer. They might be trying to do City Boys.
I'm about to say they can do Bad Bunny. The City Boys active.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they're never above bringing Bad Bunny back, and he loves being there. So you have that option.
It's nothing for him to go through the archive and say, "Let me see what song I got. Let me see. Use this one.
I got some new shit dropping.
use this one."
Cause look, if Tripp's back in the building, you know him and Trips is swapping text messages.
This is a fact.
Hey, no cap. If look, Stephanie's in power for the time being. Trips is back on the set. So, I mean, they might run a couple plays where, hey, Bad Bunny is back in play. Tyson Fury, probably. Shit, who else? Because they actually had Tyson Fury supposedly lined up to do something with Drew. I just don't know when. Now, this will be a good segue into Clash at the Castle if he beats Tyson Fury on pay-per-view. Because I don't see what benefit you get from sacrificing Drew McIntyre the same way you did Braun Strowman. Even if it was a count out in Saudi.
Yeah.
That's another time you probably fucked off some money, but not $40 million at all. Tyson Fury is worth way more.
It wasn't the Cardio Kane match over in Saudi too?
Yeah.
God.
The entrances took longer than the match. Remember that's why I said, like, his Cardio Kane's WWE career is not as long as AJ versus Cena at the Royal Rumble. Like, combined screen time.
Yeah, the totality of screen time.
Dead at a hot 15 minutes of fame like a motherfucker. We might be able to narrow it down that far because the match is like.
If you talk about that night and then also SmackDown when he debuted.
and a couple of appearances on Raw backstage.
Oh man.
Like, he probably has about 15 to 20 minutes of screen time in WWE. And this is a man who was wrestling in Mexico under a mask, like doing planchas and shit.
Like
handspring.
Like we didn't know who he was.
Facts. Like this dude was a UFC heavyweight doing lucha shit, and you found a way to fuck that up. I'm telling you what happened. They found out what you told me, and that shit was a domino effect. So it became, we might have something, to let's just give Brock his win back and be done.
It's sad because I'm not. No, if I say something, it's gonna start to. No, can't do it. Can't do it. We getting active next week. It's hot as hell. So we gonna be talking about SummerSlam. We're gonna be talking about Ring of Honor. There's always more shit. We got to come back around. We owe y'all. We haven't done a tournament for y'all in a while. We got one coming. So y'all just hold your horses. Sit tight. The show BrokenPistolBC.com, BrokenPistolBC@gmail.com. That's at BrokenPistolBC on all things social. So that's at BrokenPistolBC on what?
Everything.
Broken Pistol Logic with the shit. You can't write this. Price just went up. Mark my words, and fuck the casual fan. Those are your hashtags. Johnny, thank you for playing. Tell them what they've won.
Pencil pushers. Heads up.
Shit.
Pencils down.
Not even I was expecting that. Well, shit, we're done.
Now we got some more shit, or that's it?
That's it. Fuck it.
Well, shit, that's what you won. Enjoy the lightning round.
Shit.